So what we got going on today, I'm gonna box around this beam, and extend this wall on up to the joist, and fur this beam out that we've already finished. Done this one yesterday. They're a bit of a pain. The steel over, since this place was built in '95, so it's settled a little bit, so having to pull string lines and shim down. I just want everything just to look true, even if it's not perfect. At least it'll look like it's level. That's the main key when you get into something that's settled over the years and not level, out of square. Not so much you got to get it back perfect, you just want it to look true. Sometimes that's harder than just tearing it all down and starting over, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep moving forward, and it is what it is. But I think once it's all finished and all said and done, it's going to look really good. So let's get started on this beam. What I'm about to start is I'm going to take 1/2-inch plywood and tie these two walls together. Why I didn't use a 2x10 or rip down a 2x12 or something is because I already had these 2x6s, and I had a majority of all the 2x4s already at my shop. And the price of lumber, since this is my personal, I didn't mind it being two walls there instead of just a 2x10 wall. So I just built a 2x6 wall and a 2x4 wall, and I did that for the beam because the beam's like a 2x8 thickness, but also because I needed to extend out to this beam. So that's why it's a double wall, but I'm gonna cap it with plywood. Just like I did this side. I did this beam here the same way. I capped it with plywood to tie the two walls together. So that's what we're gonna get started on now. rip a board, we ain't gotta use a taper saw. Chalk a line. Come over here, I need a 2.5 rip. So I'm gonna mark 2.5. Come back over here. We use my finger and my thumb, hold my tape measure. And I'm gonna use my finger, I'm gonna put my end of my tape on my mark where it matches up with my pencil. Then I'm gonna hold my finger on my tape and use my finger as a guide. You just go down the board, marking it like that. Now I don't go down the whole board. You can. What I do now, once I got me a line to start me with, I take my saw. Now that I got a line to start with, I start cutting. And I put my guide on my mark, but I hold the frame with my finger just like I did the tape and use my finger as a guide running down the board. Now you gotta be careful. You're gonna get splinters every now and then. I try to go along and knock off the splinters before I do it. This board here seems pretty clean, so I think I'll be all right. But that's the easiest way to rip and the fastest way. Uh-oh, pinching my saw. As you can see, you cut pretty straight by doing that. That's how most framers will cut their boards and keep things moving. sawdust. Ain't nothing but man glitter. Now we got that beam done. Now we're gonna do this beam and this beam. I think I'm gonna leave the lights up and just frame around them and then take them out before I sheetrock or wrap my beams. That way I have a little bit of light in here.